Hi, my name is Jamie McLean and welcome to my series of videos on product management. In this first sequence of videos, we'll be talking about innovation techniques. So in the last video, we were talking about customer-focused techniques, such as design thinking, the value proposition canvas, and the business model canvas. And in this video, I'll cover my personal approach. So the common elements that we've seen from the techniques so far are to deeply understand the customer and the situation, to define the customer need, want, or problem, to identify some possible solutions and match those solutions to the customer need. And that's fundamentally at the core of most innovation ideation techniques. And at this stage, what you want to create is a concept statement. You want one very, very simple sentence which can define exactly what your idea is. So, for example, I want to solve a problem or give a benefit to a certain customer or a certain situation by offering a product or a service. If you can't say it very quickly like that in one short sentence, it's too complicated at this point. You'll define more detail later. So my personal approach is a bit different from that. It's a little bit more complicated, but I find it more useful. Many of those techniques that we've talked about only focus on one exact customer or one exact issue. So they're very focused, and they only focus on the current situation, what's happening right now. But actually, when I ideate, I want to understand the bigger picture context of what's driving the situation. So this helps me understand why. I want to look at the big picture, society, the world, the market, everything, and understand what's behind what's happening. I want to understand what's been tried before. So TRIZ shows by looking back at the history of how things have been done, we can get some ideas for how to do things in the future. So, for example, if you're developing an electric car now, it might be a good idea to look back to the dawn of when cars were first created, back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, like this 1898 Porsche-designed electric vehicle, and understand why didn't we have electric vehicles for so long, or what good ideas did those cars have way back then that we've forgotten about. And if you can understand what happened in the past and what is happening now, then you can connect those dots together and you can estimate the future. And that's really important because whatever you make will exist in the future. It can't exist now. You have to make it. So my personal approach tries to combine all those elements together. What I have is 3 columns and 3 kind of row groupings. So in the rows, we have the end user situation. So big picture, I want to look at society. What's happened with society in the past? What's happening with society now? What's happening in the future? I want to look at the customer over those time periods, the specific customer I think I'm targeting. By understanding society, I can understand a bit more about the customer's drives. I want to look at external factors, so things I can't control. That might be regulation, it might be technology, it might be something else entirely depending on your industry. But again, you want to look at the evolution of that over time, where it's going in the future. Then I want to look at the market, the specific market where I'm going to be selling my thing. And I want to look at what's happened with the market, the volume, the pricing, the competitors, the evolution of that over time. And I'll talk more about understanding competitors in the market in another video. And I want to understand about our company. So what has our brand done in the past? What have we stood for? What do we want to stand for in the future? And what products have we sold in the past? And where we want to go in the future is the product I'm going to be making. So that's the green box in the bottom right corner. That's what you want to end up with. So like I said, if you understand the past, you understand the present, you have a better chance of predicting the future. You can never fully predict the future, but you have a better chance of it. So that's not good enough. You still need to do several other things. You still need to deeply understand the root of your customer need, want, and usage. So you need to dig down, and eventually find the root of what your customer actually really wants or needs. You need to understand the competitors and alternatives. So if you're looking at a car, for example, you also want to understand buses, airplanes, trains, public transport of all sorts, bicycles, walking, because the customer doesn't just have the solution in your industry, they might have other solutions. And the most important thing actually is to get to a point where you can create value by delivering a jigsaw of uniqueness, emotion, and function. That's how we create value, and I'll talk about value as well in another video. So I hope you found this series on innovation and ideation useful. In the next video, we'll be changing subject and talking about learning from your customer. Thank you.